There was a version of Liam that woke up at 5 a.m. every single morning. He had the journals, the cold showers, the productivity apps stacked on his phone like a second job. He tracked his habits, color-coded his calendar, and listened to podcasts about discipline during every commute. On paper, he was doing everything right. He was grinding, he was hustling, he was winning. At least, that's what the Instagram captions said. But one Tuesday, sitting in a meeting that could have been an email, in a role he had chased for 3 years, Liam felt something he wasn't ready for. Not stress, not even boredom, something quieter and more unsettling than both of those things. He felt nothing, a kind of hollow, ringing nothing that sat right in the center of his chest. He went home that night, looked at his vision board, all those neatly printed goals, all that borrowed ambition, and thought, whose life is this exactly? Here's what hustle culture never told you. It gave you a very good answer to the question, how do I achieve more? But it never once asked you, more of what and why. It handed you a ladder and pointed at the sky and said, climb, and most of us climbed. We climbed until our hands were sore, and we finally looked around and realized we were leaning against the wrong wall. Purpose doesn't come from doing more. Purpose comes from asking better questions. And the most important one is genuinely simple. What is the work that feels like you, even when it's hard? Liam took a week off, not to hustle on a side project, not to optimize, just to be still and a little lost. He started volunteering at a community center on weekends, something he used to do in college before the grind swallowed that version of him whole. And on a rainy Saturday afternoon, helping a group of teenagers put together a presentation they were terrified to give, something in him came alive that no morning routine had ever touched. It didn't solve his career overnight. Purpose rarely does. It's not a lightning bolt. It's more like learning a language, slow at first, then suddenly fluent in a way you can't quite explain. What it did was give him a compass, not a schedule, a compass. Something that told him when he was moving in the right direction, even on the days the path looked uncertain. He eventually left that job. It took him 8 more months, and it wasn't clean or dramatic or cinematic. It was just a quiet decision made by someone who finally knew the difference between being busy and being alive. You might be somewhere close to where Liam was, running hard, checking boxes, building someone else's version of success, and wondering why it doesn't feel like yours. That feeling isn't failure. That feeling is information. It's your life tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, let's talk. Let's figure out what actually matters to you. Not to the productivity gurus, not to your LinkedIn network, not to whoever it is you've been trying to impress. To you. Hustle culture sold us a story where more effort always leads to more fulfillment. That story has a flaw. Effort directed at the wrong thing doesn't fill you up. It just empties you out faster. But here's the good news, and I mean this genuinely. The moment you start asking the right questions, something shifts. Not everything at once, but enough. Enough to take the next step. Enough to start building something that actually feels like you. And that's more than enough to begin.